Explore the secrets of car history with our look at the 10 lost gadgets of cars from the 1980s to now. Come with us as we look into the cool features that used to be in cars, from old classics to new supercars. Subscribe to get more tech and car news. Number 10. Cassette players. Just picture yourself cruising down the interstate in your ultra-modern car in the 1980s, and what do you see? When you put a tape into the player, you'll hear the signature click-clack sound. The cassette player is the supreme monarch of car stereos. Beyond being just a tool, it opened a domain of oral inquiry. With a cassette player, you may take your favorite mixtapes with you wherever you go or listen to the latest top 40 tunes. However, development doesn't stop for anyone, regrettably. The digital era's arrival rendered the cassette player obsolete. Thanks to CDs, MP3 devices, and now streaming services, the amount of music available has skyrocketed. No longer will you have to waste time rewinding or fast-forwarding to find your favorite music. Playlists eventually supplanted mixtapes, and the shuffle button became the de facto DJ. As a status symbol, the cassette player had its day, but today it's completely forgotten in the automotive industry. In this day of ubiquitous digital media, the cassette player stands out as a quaint relic of a simpler time. You should never forget the joy of discovering new music, the satisfaction of creating your playlist, or the bond you have with friends by trading cassettes. Number 9. Cigarette lighters and ashtrays. During the heyday of cars, the ashtray and the cigarette lighter were almost the same. They made an unbeatable duo, protecting smokers on long rides. But then, it was common to see drivers smoking their fix, and the smoke would billow from the dashboard gauges. A generation's soundtrack was characterized by the repetitive click of lighters and the delicate clink of ash on metal. However, as social change swept in, smoking rates started to decline. Due to rising health concerns, the once popular habit of smoking while driving has gradually fallen out of favor. The ashtray and lighter become relics of a bygone era when we go into contemporary smoke-free environments. Their absence reveals something about the ever-evolving nature of both culture and automobile design. But while they may no longer serve their original purpose, these forgotten features live on as nostalgic artifacts, triggering memories of road trips with friends, late-night drives, and the simple pleasures of days gone by. Number 8. Manual window cranks. Picture yourself driving a classic car across a sunny, windswept landscape. Explain to me what I'm looking at. Nothing is more complex than a crank. No buttons or motors are required. Enter manual windows without delay. Before automation, drivers had to rely on their physical power to handle the twists and turns of the road. They kept the manual window crank, which allowed them to see what was outside, forever. I felt an amazing feeling of fulfillment when the crank was twisted and the window glided into place. The driving habit has been around for a long time, and drivers have developed a close relationship with their vehicles. In the end, however, technological advancements allowed electric window cranks to overcome their manual counterparts. Manual cranks became superfluous and deemed a relic of the past when electric windows were introduced. The manual window crank is a relic of an earlier age, and it brings a pang of nostalgia to our nostalgic looks at antique vehicles. It may be lacking in today's vehicles, but it doesn't take away from classic automobiles' enduring appeal. Number 7. Car phones. Imagine yourself stepping into a time capsule and being transported to the opulence and style of the 1980s or the sleek 1990s. As you sit in the driver's seat, you examine the vehicle phone, which was once a pinnacle of technological advancement. Vehicle phones were a sign of luxury and prestige for the famous and affluent in an era before mobile phones and constant internet access. Its sturdy build and detachable antenna betrayed the owner's refined taste and abundant income. Whether they were on the go for business or just wanted to stay in contact with loved ones, the wealthy could do it all with the unparalleled ease of the car phone. Its technical brilliance drew in audiences, and it was essential in our fast-paced culture. As technology advanced at an exponential rate, the car phone became obsolete in favor of smaller, sleeker phones. When cell phones became ubiquitous, their extinction was written into the history books of automobiles. Today, as we marvel at vintage car phones in museums or stumble upon them in flea markets, they serve as a reminder of a bygone era, a time when communication meant more than just a swipe and a tap. Number 6. Cassette tape storage compartments. Remember when cassette tapes were the only way to record music? Back when you could feel the bass and melodies? Picture yourself opening the glove box of your old automobile and seeing a horde of cassettes. These spaces were portals to a world of unexplored musical areas, not just storage for analog day. Every cassette tape had the promise of an exciting musical adventure, whether it was a carefully curated mixtape or a beloved record that was never far away. But as technology progressed and digital music became the standard, the cassette tape storage section became outdated. But then digital music libraries appeared, giving us access to all our favorite tunes instantly and a world of possibilities. The cassette tape storage portion seems like a relic from a bygone era in this day of finger-swiping navigation across digital landscapes. The music that used to fill our lives is poignantly remembered by its dusty shelves. Even if cassette tapes are a thing of the past, the impact they had on music lovers all over the globe will last forever. Those of us who remember these analog relics will hold them in the highest regard for all time. Number 5. CB radios. During the heyday of highway travel, drivers used a code that was known only to them, the code of the CB radio, to communicate with one another. A 10-4 may be the difference between freedom and trouble in this parallel universe, where Bandit and Smokey were the most popular aliases. For a long period, truckers relied on CB radios as their primary means of communication while on the road. In the vastness of the open road, the CB radio was a lifeline that let drivers speak to each other and avoid hazardous situations. But when the digital revolution swept the globe, the radio fell quiet. People started flocking to cell phones, which revolutionized communication with immediate connection and a variety of additional capabilities, rendering the CB radio useless. Today, as we glance nostalgically at those dusty old CB radios, we can't help but feel a pang of longing for a simpler time. A time when the airwaves crackled with life and every driver had a handle and a story to share. Those who remember CB radios will always hold them in high regard, even if they're no longer used. The memory of the 10-4 and keep the shiny side up period should live on in the annals of automobile design. Number 4. Manual choke. Imagine yourself at dawn on a chilly winter morning with your trusty horse by your side as the air is tinged with frost. You can't start your quest unless you perform a ritual, and that ceremony is the manual choking ritual. In the days when fuel injection became the standard, cold weather drivers relied on the manual choke. By enhancing the fuel mixture, the engine obtained the extra boost it required to start up with just a little twist or pull. Like a ballet, you had to find the sweet spot of choke, just the perfect amount. The engine stuttered and stopped with insufficient usage and flooded with excessive use. Despite its quirks, the manual choke proved to be a lifesaver for those who mastered its right usage. Once ubiquitous, electronic fuel injection has rendered the manual choke obsolete. As a delightful relic from an earlier time, it has cemented its place in the annals of automobile history. In our awe of modern marvels and their silky starts, we mustn't lose sight of the manual choke, a relic of yesteryear that stood as a symbol of fortitude and ingenuity in the face of harsh environmental conditions. Number 3. Pop-up headlights. Oh, how we admire those infamous pop-up headlights, those marvelous technical wonders that transformed ordinary sports cars into fantastical beings. Not only were they functional, but they also made a style statement in the vibrant 80s and 90s scene. Think of yourself as you cruise down the road, the lights of the city glinting off your gleaming paintwork, and your headlights coming to life at the flick of a switch. Spectators couldn't tear their eyes away from this spectacular show. Stricter safety regulations and shifting consumer preferences put an end to the pop-up headlights' heyday. Modern engineering has put efficiency and pedestrian safety ahead of aerodynamic design. In contrast to the sleek designs of modern sports cars, the pop-up headlight harkens back to a bygone era. The sad truth that it is no longer seen on the highways serves as a continual reminder of how rapidly automobile design is changing. But for those who remember, the pop-up headlight will always hold a special place in their hearts. A symbol of the boldness and innovation of a bygone era, immortalized in the annals of automotive history. Number 2. Automatic seatbelts. To make cars safer for passengers, engineers developed a revolutionary feature, the automatic seatbelt. The groundbreaking new system was lauded for its proactive safety measures for road users. The seatbelt quickly and easily fastened around you as you settle into the driver's seat and closed the door behind you. Everything went off without a hitch because there was a quiet observer there who might have sprung into action at a moment's notice. In terms of automotive safety measures, automatic seatbelts were initially top-notch. They put minds at ease by assuring everyone on board that they were completely secure. Nevertheless, the automatic seatbelt soon lost popularity due to new safety regulations and technical advancements. Modern restraint systems like airbags and pretensioners have greatly enhanced safety in the event of an accident. As we marvel at the extensive safety features of today's automobiles, the automatic seatbelt serves as a historical relic that reminds us of how far automotive safety has gone. Even if it was replaced by more contemporary technologies, the industry's commitment to road safety will always be symbolized by its legacy. Number 1. Manual transmissions. Last but not least, there's the manual gearbox, a tried and true option for any serious driver. It was more than just a gearbox when it was new. It was a marvel of mechanical ballet that elevated driving to a new art form. Those who liked the thrill of a manual gearbox found their ultimate form of control on the open road. Unlike with any automated competition, there was an unparalleled connection to the road with every movement of the gear lever. When automobile technology was at its pinnacle, only vehicles with manual gearboxes could be considered revolutionary. Whether you were hustling along at a leisurely pace or accelerating rapidly, an automatic transmission just couldn't match the amount of control it offered. However, in today's fast-paced automobile industry, where convenience has replaced camaraderie, the manual gearbox has struggled to stay up. The simplicity and smoothness of automated gearbox changes attracted a greater demographic of drivers. In this day and age of chronic traffic and long commutes, the manual gearbox is progressively becoming an endangered species. The only people who would ever like to be in its presence are die-hard admirers who can't get enough of rowing through the gears. We hope you like discovering the 10 lost gadgets of cars from the 80s till now. Stay tuned for more interesting news. To stay up to date on everything automobile, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications.